Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, in this video we will have our discussion on a topic which intrigues most of the people. Like it's about what is my purpose in this lifetime, what I could be doing as a form of my activities, my profession in the last lifetime, what could be the circumstances around the time of my death. So all of that, and these all are the nature of queries which a lot many times takes people towards the past life regression therapy session. Like in India there is a thing called where it has been believed that in southern part of India there are like people who come from the lineage of a rishi or saint, over where they are the custodian of some leaves, over where all of our future is written encrypted in those leaves, and these are the people who decode and interpret the future from reading those leaves. So there have been so many techniques and faith or belief system which is being followed all around the world. But guys, if you have the correct time and date of your birth, even from astrology or from the Vedic astrology as well, a lot of that can be decoded, which we will try to do in this video. And guys, before we will start our discussion, a quick business promotion. So guys, if you want any of your career guidance, if you want any of the matrimonial guidance, or just you want to know that how your running dasha is functioning, what you can do better, any turmoils and all, so please book your reading with me. The booking link is there in the description of this video. When I went to Toronto last month, the response was very spectacular, and now I'm thinking about most likely in the month of January traveling to either Seattle or Los Angeles. So please keep eye on my notifications, because most likely in next couple of weeks I will be sharing my travel plans, and then you can get a in-person reading with me, which is going to be very interactive. And guys, let's say for example, if you want to learn any form of occult sciences, like this could be astrology, numerology, palmistry from me, so I'm already giving Zoom classes, online classes. Or if you are based in Vancouver, you want to learn in person from me, so you can actually write an email to me, which you are seeing right now in the flyer on your screen. And after that guys, just a small request, please keep on sharing the videos, which gives me encouragement and motivation to bring more research material in front of you. Being a creator, being an astrologer, in any case I will be posting videos. There is no getting rid of my videos. It's just like that, if I will see the response in a larger number, it will give me motivation to do more work in the case studies and all. So okay guys, now after that we will start our discussion. So guys, understand this thing, why I all the time give emphasis more on your moon nakshatra. Your moon nakshatra becomes very important, because in this nakshatra comprises of all the information regarding a part of the sanchit karma, accumulated karma of yours, what all will get unfolded in this lifetime of yours. Your moon nakshatra becomes very important because it somehow decodes or sets a pattern of the time period of a dasha which you will go through in this lifetime. It also tells about the kind of gods you need to worship for your spiritual elevation. The kind of auspicious timing like muhurta is also done on the basis of your moon nakshatra only. But guys, over here as well, giving attention to your moon nakshatra lord, its placement in the chart, and moreover the most important part is that at a time when you were born, like Mahadasha and the balance of the Antardasha. Just giving attention to these two planets can give you fair idea regarding what kind of activities you were doing in the past lifetime. Because guys, in Sanatan Dharma, it has been believed that ours is a eternal journey of the soul. Soul might be changing form from one body to another body, but it is in an endless journey of the perfection. And giving attention to your Mahadasha and the Antardasha which you have got at a time of your birth will give you fair idea. So let me summarize it. When you give attention to your Mahadasha at a time of the birth and the Antardasha, it will give information regarding the three very clear things. The very first thing is going to be the kind of purpose with which you are born in this lifetime. Second thing is, it will also give you indication regarding the kind of specific talents, gifts which you have got in this lifetime, and something which you have somehow it has been carry forwarded from the past lifetime as well. And the third thing is, it also tells about and give vital information regarding the kind of circumstances which were surrounding you at a time when you were dying in the past lifetime. Like, was your death a very mysterious death? Was your death was it happened in very contented kind of environment when you were surrounded by your loved ones? Guys, decoding this also becomes very important, because a lot many times what happen is that it's a proven case study. Like all those people who have got some sort of they have escaped any of the fire incident in very childhood kind of age and all. So growing up, they have got that sort of fear regarding or around the fire. Like all those kind of girls who have been molested at an early half of their life, like during their teenage years and all, they somehow develop that sort of very strong fear towards the intimacy as well. So same is the way, guys, just giving attention to your Mahadasha and the Antardasha can give you a very fair sense of idea that the sort of things which comes very natural to you as your expertise, as your skill set, as your talents. And when we talk about the kind of fears which you have, that can also be decoded through giving attention to your Mahadasha and Antardasha which you have got at the time of your birth. Guys, you will be surprised. Like in my case, I always knew this thing that being a Sadvisha Nakshatra, my first Mahadasha was of the planet Rahu. My Antardasha was of the Saturn. So imagine I was born at a time when it was the balance of the Rahu Mahadasha and the Saturn Antardasha. And Saturn is placed in the 8th house. Now it is open to lot many interpretation. I will very soon share the case study with you and you will be surprised. Like whether you talk about Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, a lot of the people have been born in the Mahadasha of the Saturn. Like this could be Saturn or Rahu, like Mahadasha, Antardasha, exchange and all. So, but a lot of the people who have somehow impacted the world, who were somehow being very much attuned with their destiny, with some sort of special destiny and the purpose over where they need to serve the humanity and the masses, have been born in this sort of alignment. So the point which I'm saying over here is that, see, my chart is not that important, but even looking at my chart, because Saturn is my Amatya Karaka as well, being placed in the 8th house in its own nakshatra, Anuradha. So that also tells about that all these kind of activities which I am doing, it was never a part of my plan or my parents' plan or anyone else in my distant family's plan, but this is what my destiny was, and this is something which I might be doing even in the past lifetime as well. Saturn being so strong in the 8th house, that also tells about that you might be a tantric, you might be connected with occult, you might be engaged in secret and esoteric services. Just because it is Anuradha Nakshatra, it has got to do with the devotion as well. So this might be the kind of activities I might be doing from the past lifetime as well. And it also tells about there might be some sort of fear, or there might be some sort of conspiracy which surrounded you at the time of your death as well. Now that was just the esoteric mystical side of it. I will very soon give you reference chart over where you will get to know about it. So guys, the very first reference chart or the case study of today is of the Narendra Modi ji. Like guys, first of all, before I will start explaining the Mahadasha and the balance of the Antardasha, you have to first understand the personality in the consideration. Look at it in this way, that Narendra Modi ji has been considered as one of the most favored, one of the most loved Prime Minister of the largest democracy of the world, India. Second thing is that there have been those kind of instances over where, like irrespective of the fact that Narendra Modi government took some decision, like one such decision was of the Notebandi. Like imagine a country like India where lot many business and trade, majority of the business and trade happens in cash, and overnight his government decided to cancel, nullify the currency in one specific denomination. But even after that, the public still remained in support of Narendra Modi. That sort of love and support you can see from the masses towards their leader. And not only that, because even at a time when the COVID came and the whole West was making fun that, okay, India is not equipped to handle pandemic of this scale within their country. And even over there as well, Narendra Modi's government not only managed it well within the country, but we even shared vaccine to other countries as well, which was a very befitting reply to all those people who were somehow doing this mockery of the capability of the Indian administration. So the point which I'm saying over here is that when we talk about these kind of people, these kind of destiny, over there you have to definitely look at that in which kind of alignment he was born. What was the kind of dasha balance in which he was born? So guys, to begin with, now just because we are talking about Narendra Modi ji's chart, or even before taking any other case studies as well, you have to be very clear. Over here, the whole point of discussion in this topic is you have to give attention to the Mahadasha Lord at a time of the birth. Simply put, whatever your moon nakshatra is, that planet in which house it is placed and which planets are conjunct with it, that will also become very important. You have to also give attention to the Karakas of the Gemini as well. That planet which is your moon nakshatra lord, is that planet your Amatya Karak, the planet of your profession? Is that planet your like Atma Karak, planet which is responsible for yourself, for your soul? Is this planet exalted? Is this planet debilitated? Is this planet combust? Is this planet conjunct with an exalted planet? So all of that will become very important, and all of that will add up to landing at this conclusion. Guys, understand this thing, all the 3 points which I have mentioned, just via the scrutinization of your moon nakshatra lord, like Mahadasha Lord at a time of the birth and the Antardasha, can give you the answer of the 3 queries: your purpose in this lifetime, special talents and abilities in this life which got carried forwarded from the past lifetime, and along with that, what kind of circumstances were surrounding you at a time of your death in the last lifetime. Did you die in the battleground? Did you die being isolated in your home? Or did you die surrounded by your loved ones? Did you die very contented? Or did you die filled with unfulfilled wishes, hopes, too much pain in your heart? All of that can be decoded. So okay guys, in Narendra Modi ji's chart only, you will see that he's born at in the Saturn Venus Dasha. And both of these 2 planets are placed in his 10th house. They are placed in the Leo. Now guys, do not get into this whole alignment over where that, okay, Saturn is kind of being placed in the Leo sign, which is an inimical sign to it. Over here you will definitely see that the whole trajectory and the career of the Narendra Modi ji, he was always very strongly against this entitlement and the lineage and the favors given to people, that even if someone is not capable, but just because of the some sort of nepotism and some sort of kind of because that runs in your family, that power came to you irrespective of the fact that whether you are competent enough or not. So in Narendra Modi ji's case, you will see that he has a very strong Saturn being there in the 10th house. It also gets the directional strength as well. The only concern over here is that the way he has built his political career, it has always been with this sort of dislike against anything to do with the royalty or entitlement. He was always against it. He was always in this favor that you have to earn your merit to be deserving that sort of designation or position. And along with that guys, his Saturn and Venus, they both are in the 10th house. So that in itself tells about that forming that sort of relationship with the masses. That relationship, this could be in a way that the older people see you as their friend, the younger generation see you as a father, someone see as a grandfather in you. So that sort of relationship which you have this capacity to establish with the masses. Second thing is that guys, even in Narendra Modi ji's case, he has always been seen as like he was very well equipped. Not only he had this strong ethics foundation when it comes down to his roots, when it comes down to the dharma, to the Sanatan dharma, to our religion as well, to his identity, core identity as well. But at the same time, he was very well managing his relationship with the commercial, with the business class as well. So all of that you can see with the combination of the Saturn and Venus in the 10th house in his natal chart. So guys, what all we can figure out through this? First of all, to begin with, when we talk about that strong sense of destiny, that sense of power, entitlement of doing your service to the masses comes naturally to him, because in his case the moon nakshatra lord becomes the planet Saturn, and it is very well placed in the 10th house. Moon in itself is placed in the first house. So if your kendra bhavas are so strong, we say this thing that somehow you are in control, in command of your destiny, of your duties, your purpose, which you need to fulfill in this lifetime. Now guys, after that we will take up the second case study of today in order to understand this topic, which is of the chart of the this is the second chart is of the Steve Jobs. So guys, we all know that in Steve Jobs case, he was an American entrepreneur, inventor and visionary who co-founded Apple, born on Feb 24th 1955 in San Francisco, California, and he was adopted at a time of his birth and at a very young age, I mean to say, and even from a very young age he had very strong interest in electronics and technology. Now if you will see, looking at his chart, he is a Leo Lagna, and he has his ascendant lord being there in the 7th house, and he has Rahu Venus in the 5th house and Saturn exalted in the 3rd house. Now guys, you will wonder that he was born, is Mahadasha at his birth is so significant in shaping his destiny. Jobs was born during the Saturn Rahu Dasha, a period that profoundly influenced his life's trajectory. So guys, if your moon nakshatra lord is exalted in the 3rd house, so like the way I mentioned this thing, it also tells about that he might be skilled even in the past lifetime as well. His purpose is somehow creating a legacy regarding a product line, or doing something in the realms of the technology which the world has not seen before. Now guys, in his case, like the way I mentioned this thing, you have to give attention individually that your balanced dasha at a time of the birth. In his case, it happened to be the Saturn Rahu. So individually you have to see that what alignment Saturn is in, what alignment Rahu is in. In his case, his Rahu is conjunct with the Venus as well. So this could be a case that he might be doing those kind of things even in the past lifetime as well. Generally, when Rahu becomes your Antardasha lord at a time of the birth, the balance of the dasha, there is always this fear and vulnerability that even in the past lifetime there have been some sort of unfulfilled wishes and some sort of discontentment at a time when you were dying. But guys, the concern over here is that because it is conjunct with the Venus, and that too is there in the 5th house, so that somehow tells about that he might be surrounded by the loved ones. And because the Mahadasha, the nakshatra lord, Janam moon nakshatra lord is exalted, so that is not telling more about from a point of view of bereavement, from the point of view of the, like this could be a case that betrayal, discontentment, isolated, mystery. It is all telling about being in strong control and command. You might have built an empire even in the past lifetime as well, and that is the sort of legacy and continued destiny which you followed in this lifetime as well. And now guys, when we talk about the third case study of today, which is of the Bill Gates. So we all know about the Bill Gates, that like he attended Harvard University but left before completing his degree to co-found Microsoft Corporation with his childhood friend Paul Allen in 1975. Under his leadership, Microsoft became a global leader in personal computer software, notably with the development of the Windows operating system. In his case as well, guys, now if you will see that he is born during the Saturn Rahu Mahadasha, like Saturn Mahadasha Rahu Antardasha. So guys, over here as well, you can see that Saturn is placed in the 5th house. It is again exalted. So guys, you must be seeing a pattern. A lot many people who have done something unconditionally for the betterment of the humanity, they have impacted the lives of majority of the people. In their case, all of these people are somehow, you will find Saturn either to be in the Antardasha or the Mahadasha at a time of the birth. You can definitely see it over here as well. You can see that Rahu is there, the Antardasha at a time of the birth is there in the 6th house. So that also tells about the kind of charities which he has done, his and his wife, the kind of they have supported, like a lot many of the like political expert and politics expert, they also say this thing that somehow it's the Bill Gates Foundation only, Gates and Melinda Foundation only, which can be credited for removing polio majorly from Africa. So yes, we can see this thing. So guys, at the end, the conclusion is that the recurring presence of Saturn Mahadasha at birth among these influential figures suggest a profound connection between Saturn energies and remarkable achievement that benefit the masses. Saturn, often referred to as the taskmaster of the zodiac, embodies discipline, perseverance, responsibility and service to the society. Its prominence in the Mahadasha at birth may indicate that these individuals carried significant accumulated karma from the past lives, incarnating with a purpose to effect substantial change and serve the humanity. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say. A lot many times I've seen people, they feel that their Vedic astrology chart is not sufficient enough. I'm sure that if you have deeper knowledge of astrology, you might even take this query of yours, this curiosity of yours to the divisional charts like up till the D60 Sastyamsha chart as well. But I would still say this thing that somehow if you have that sort of East Kripa over you, you have strong trine house. So just giving attention to your moon nakshatra, your moon nakshatra lord means Mahadasha, and even including the Antardasha at a time of your birth. Just the scrutinization of these two entities can give you a fair idea of the three things which we primarily discussed in this video. Your life purpose in this lifetime, the talent, gift, blessings, skill set which you have in this lifetime in continuity from what you have been doing in the past lifetime. And third and the most, regarding the mysteries surrounding the time of your death in the past lifetime. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.